Morning, everyone. Hope you can hear me okay and see the charts okay. If you can't see the charts or can't hear me, well, can't hear me, you can't reply. Morning, Anna Marie. Hope you can see the charts okay. Make sure I press the right button. Thank you. Good enough. Thanks for that. Some of these guys are not getting the signals okay. I don't know why that is. Wait for a couple of minutes. I'll put it on. Yeah, it's 3 being made. I think 2 will be sent to the mailbox for everyone, and the other one's the VIP. As far as I know. Have a look at it anyway. Yeah, I'm still the rally on that one. I want to sell, but rather sit up here somewhere and get back up there. Maybe a bit of a range. How far away is that? It's a long way. Wow, it's a long way. No. Morning. Okay, then we can start. Okay, it's not getting going. Bit disappointing. It's not getting going. It's trying to come off, trying to go back up again. See what I mean? Comes down, came all the way down here, and popped up again. It's very much sideways. But I think it's going to hopefully, at some stage, make a gap down and see what should push it up. But anyway, just patience think on that one. Okay, there's a couple that was sent out today. Euro JP1, did it before. Most guys got out at 144 or got out frustration, let's be quite honest. I think we're talking about it yesterday in the TI, it's more of a range trade. So I think it's going to go back up to those sort of areas here, and then, well, that's it. So put it up and you have a look, everybody. Got in 142.77. And then 144.05. There we go. Okay, how's that now? It's better. Okay, so yeah, I'm looking at the range through. We discussed it yesterday, if you remember the trading room. A couple of guys swapped numbers so they can work together on it. Thought was gold, and then this one's an example for a range trade. If you like, I quite like to see another further bounce up again. So yeah, if you like that as a range trade, stop loss there. There's the risk reward on there. It's not too hectic. For maybe a bounce. You want to make a slightly wider stop, you can, but I'm expecting maybe a bit of a bounce back up again. Any comments? Do you want to trade this back up again? Fair enough. Anybody else? Okay, fine. It's been sent out, so I've got it written down anyway. Just maybe a couple of guys might have missed it or on the road, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I like the trade. So you got Molatella, if I can pronounce this properly, yeah. Molatella, that's right, Molatella. Hi. I sent an invite for you to be a member of the group, the VIP group. Don't know if you okayed it or not. If you didn't, you got my WhatsApp number. Just WhatsApp me privately and say, no, I didn't get that. Please upload me. If you upload it, so I can do that. Okay. Etienne likes it. Well, let's go and have a look at the NAS. You've all got that. Should be sent out to the guys. I think it's only the VIP guys getting it. Anyone trading them have it here, obviously. I think only the VIPs when we sent it. So yeah, if you like it, if you want more details or copy it, I'll show it to you again. Go on from there. Okay, right. Ranging. Where were a NAS? Use the micro, use either account for micro if you like it. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a short covering bounce. This, you know what I mean by that. In other words, the guys are taking profit around about 12,000, and when they take profit on a short position, you buy to exit. So I think that's just a little bit of a bounce there. I made call for any time at low chain 48 this morning. Power came back at 8:10. Myself, I had 48 as well. I'm going to forget 8:15. Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's obviously unscheduled. Mine's the same. 4 to 8:30 and came about 8:30 start there. Okay. Frustrating, yeah. Okay, okay, fair enough, Marius. What I was going to say, yeah. Commiserations, yeah. I don't know, Micro, I think so. I wouldn't go big on it. What I say that it's gone back and tested the support area there and looked some sellers have come in. I'm looking at the DXY and it's hovering about 104.30. Fairly hawkish yesterday from Powell. I'm going to be quiet because nothing came out any particularly new there. He's saying what I've been saying all the time. What else can I say? You know, we did bring inflation down and interest rates. If it does, well, we won't. Well, simple as that. So anyway, so we're trying to hang on. I suppose any news is sort of actionable news, I suppose. A way to look at it. But yeah, overall, yeah, sell around. So most of you guys in the trading should have been in now. Should have modified your stop and sitting it out for the next breakthrough, maybe 12,000. So hang on in there. If you're not in, yeah, I do. We'll do a micro one for you. Where can put the stop? Just make sure there's no particular problems there. So no, didn't think so. So yeah, I'm just sorry, too quick there. Yeah, I think that's okay. It's not a problem. Yeah, I think so. We can put the stop. Some 200 pips there. Make it 12.4. That's good. Will do. And the TP will go take down here. I think won't work to there, unfortunately. Just take down there. So make it 117. That's good enough. Yeah. Yeah, we see the cells already coming in. Listen to the 4 hour again. Yeah. Hourly. Yeah, see more downside. And the beauty of the micro is it's only $40 a micro. It's 400 bucks a micro on obviously on the normal Nasdaq. So it gives an option to everybody, and then yeah, opens a few more areas. So yeah, I hold on to it, Zombie. It's slow, but it's not doing much damage. It's hovering with the overall area. It's boring. We're used to fast movement. In out the next day or a day after, someone's going to take a bit. So just let it run. Okay, no problem. If you did, that's fine. Not sure why. You've got proper stop loss protecting, depending on what you got in. If you got on the 12.7, 12.5 be your stop, let it run. But anyway, if you have, not a problem. But yeah, I think it's got some. Well, I do see more downside. Yeah, and this gives an opportunity to take the NAS without having horrendous overexposure. But there you are. You like it? There we are. Yeah, cable test. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think finally had it a couple of times in a week or so. Yeah, let's not go down that road anyway. It's been said, done, put us all in an irritable mood. We know the score. Anyway, so let's move back to this one. Anyone want to take this one? I do see downside, sell the rallies, and yeah, a decent stop. And it's not hectic on the pocket. You can afford 80, do it. 420, you can work it out from there. Likes it? Do you want to do this, Gerard? Something new, like a blue, are you? Good stuff. I'll write down. It was something new, as in blue. That's good rhyming, eh? Okay, well, bring it down. There we are. There you go. Okay, just give me a moment or two if you want to do it. There are the figures. Okay. Right. The reason why that's been put on here, the XAU USD, because a lot of other guys out there, other platforms, don't have the gold, they have the XAU USD. I'm telling you right now, it's exactly the same. But the reason why we got it on there is we're getting a lot of calls, which takes time, saying, I want to trade gold, I want to trade XAU USD, and I can't find your platform. Do you have it? And then, of course, I say, yes, you do. But instead of putting that in, you're just putting gold, same thing. So to overcome that, there you are. If you want that, you might have to knock your what you call it, your platform off and then go into it again, and then add it to your watch if you prefer that. It's no difference. Same price, same everything, just a different name. Like donkey and thank you means exactly the same. Prefer donkey or donkey, then XAUSD. You both thank you, do the gold, make them over donkey now, but whatever. So if you got the gold, don't have to know this you don't want. It's exactly the same. There's no difference. So gold or this one here, yeah, that we saw it as short. You should have all received it by now. I think it was about 1832 was the entry, to take it further down. So there we are, if you like. You should have all received it. Okay, the other one was sent out with Brent. Come off quite a bit. So we got in that one for sell idea round about these figures here, 80.50 or whatever it was, round about that level there. To take it back up again. The reason being, come back quite nicely. This seems to be holding. This is this high. We can't use this one because it's still a work in progress, but this one's higher than that, and that's a higher low. So yeah, take it back up again. So those the two are sent out to everybody at the Euro JPY, just the VIP group. Okay. All right, so if you got those, you like it, there we are. Okay, I'll put it up for you. Wrong one. Should have been sent to you guys, but anyway, I'm not sure why that's. We got in 1832. I prefer slightly better price. You might get the same risk reward anyway. 1848 and 1800. Might not get 1800, but you modify, close, you know the story. Yeah. Same SLTP sent out, yeah, but the gold sent out 1832 entry, just bear that in mind. I don't know why that is. I honestly don't know. That's the office to sort out. But those are the figures there, but I said for 1832 not. And you should have received on Brent. I don't know why they held up. Maybe I can copy and paste on there for you. What's this one? Brent, there we are. This one is saved. Copy and paste and look at it if you want. A bit easier and quicker. I'll just give the price for micro. Okay. So there you are. Suppose joining out the risk reward about 1.5. Ooh. It's up to you. I prefer the entry at Wake 32. I don't want to. I'm sorry, I'm getting back. I'm a bit sort of addled on that. It's no good getting the ideas out and then it's posted to everyone an hour later. Someone to get a better price, but often get a situation where ship for sale, and that's no good. Anyway. So you got the Brent, we discussed them all here anyway. So if you want to take them back, I've got them written down to send out. We'll come back to them and yeah, knock that off. Okay. Right. Yeah, running else. Two open trades give us some jip still. I think it's the AUD CAD and the AUD NZD. Might have been stopped out by now. I think it might have been stopped out. There's a stop on it. AUD CAD 9205. They should still be in it. Just giving some jip. Yeah. Then I think this will stop out. What AUD NZD 0922. Yeah, I think you might be out of that. Oh well, pity. Whatever. There you go. Okay, so we've got to be honest, and not such good ones, but some of the others are going fine. The shares are going just nice. The guys, the shares are doing well. The indices trades have been doing very well. Yeah, GBP CHF is a hell of a slow, but at least it's okay. GBP AUD, sorry, GBP JPY. I know a couple of people, I don't know how many, but one or two took it, and that's doing very well. I know Farney took it, nobody else took it, but I've got it written down. A couple of people must have taken it. As always, modify your stop. Now, 60 to that is what, 40, about 44, 45 pips in profit. Call it 40 with the spread. So yeah, you can move it down to your entry, take the risk out of it, and hopefully get a decent pullback and continue. Up to you, but that one's doing okay as well. AUD JPY, did anyone take that one? I'm sure many people took it. It's written down, so somebody must have done. It's up a little bit. I'm a bit doubtful on this one because I'm on the daily. Yeah, back in the break through that 100-day moving average. It's about 10 pips in points. Back in the breakthrough, back and break through the 10-day moving average. So I'm giving it. I didn't take it. I think one or two guys might have done. A bit of a profit. Watch it. You don't want to pull back, go into a loss. It's back to get by there. Might come off. Anyway, so those are the open trades. Most of them seem to be okay. It's just the AUD NZD and the AUD's out. So put a line on that one. Okay, and the AUD is clinging on by the skin of its teeth. It might come right. Let's just hope. Okay, right. Oh yes, fundamentals. Just a second. Right, what we got today? 2 o'clock. By the way, Japan's close, the Emperor's birthday. So, sorry, 12 o'clock, sorry. CPI of the euro. I'm a bit iffy about doing a scalp trade, guys, because I think it can be a bit disappointing on that. So I'll stick with the US on it, but the CPI, bear in mind, is coming out, and that is an indication of inflation, so it should have an effect on the euro. Bear that in mind at 12 o'clock. So if you're Euro JPY, you're in it and in a profit, might be an idea to modify to protect yourself in case something goes drastically wrong with the euro and you're long, or if you're short, drastically right with the euro, etc. So just bear that in mind. US is the quarterly gross domestic product, or GDP, and the initial jobless claims, not the non-farms, the initial jobless claims coming out, both are +3. Bear that in mind. Okay, just going to copy and paste for everybody because I know there's 1 or 2 new guys here. Copy it and paste it and keep it in your browser and refer to it. It do affect the markets. Do you know why? People say they're not getting this Euro JPY. I don't know what that is. Just give me a second, I'll post it to them. Okay. Oh yeah, and the DXY. Well, if you've got to sell it and you're in profit, why not? Do I think it's more downside? Yeah, I do. So yeah, Tabo, I do. Hold it. I presume it's a sell. As a sell, yes, said to sell. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, why not? I don't know what price you got in, but if you got in about 1845, modify your stop to maybe 1840, you're building some profit and see if you can get through well, hope you get some more downside. Yeah. Okay, so just remember, guys, the DXY is a dollar index, and the other one is the economic calendar, both important. If you haven't got them, please save them and minimize them so you got it handy when you trade to refer to. Okay. I'm going to put my name in as well. A moment of quiet. Make sure it's WhatsApp. If it needs more detail, I'll phone you back. Otherwise, keep it on the WhatsApp. 061-529-3431. Just a couple of codicils on that. Number one, you need more than 500 Rand in a live account. So below 500 or demos, no. And if you've got 50,000 in there and you want information on a demo, no. Demo is just there to learn how to operate the platform and maybe try a new strategy out. No advice is on that. Okay, but so If you've got 500 more, you can keep that. If you've got 2.5 grand or more and you want to be on the VIP group, you're supposed to be sending the signals out today. Anyway, it's another story. Just let me know and I'll update you. There's nothing else to go-to guy. I mean, come to the wrong department, I can easily push it to the right department. Okay. Got WhatsApp on my laptop, so it's in front of me and easily accessible, etc. Just remember, if you do contact me, just please give your full names and real account number. Don't say, hello, I heard about it and this is George. I mean, George means nothing to me. I need the full details, okay? All right, okay. Yeah, it's doing okay. This one we talked about, but it's a bit iffy at the moment. But what's the goal doing? Same thing, XAU, whatever you want to take. There it is. Look at goals or whatever. Get it slightly better. It's good for the short, but hold on to it anyway. Okay, the other one that was sent out, I think you've all got it now, is Brent. I think it's starting to move a little bit better. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit in the profitable side, so that's fine. The EURJPY, I'm a little bit cautious on because at 12 o'clock the CPI is coming out. EURJPY, that's right. But yeah, just be a little bit careful. Otherwise, it's pretty tight stops. It's not a horrendous risk. Get your position size correct. If you haven't got the calculator and you need it, well, you do need it. You have to have it. Just go to the live chat and go to tech support to get it. Okay. All good. Don't forget, just quickly before I forget, right click, templates. Don't forget to save your template. If you haven't saved it, save it now. So if you lose your charts, you just go right click, go to templates, and there it is there. No hassle. Okay. Right. We've looked at the NAS. Let's look at the Dow. Dow. We've got Dow micros as well. So you want to trade the Dow or the NAS, don't forget. You go to the portal, go to the open live account option, choose the option the Dow, choose a micro, and you'll get the NAS and the Dow. Okay, it's a bit sideways at the moment, but so be it. Okay, nothing big to report from yesterday's FOMC meeting. It more or less sort of established what he's been saying all the time, which would take the slightly hawkish. So we had a little bit of strength in the dollar, but not much difference. So it's the way forward at the moment, selling the rally. Okay. Yeah. Anything else you guys like to look at? Any questions? There's one or two, I think, newer people in here coming for the first time. Any questions you would like to ask? Anything you want to establish? It's a forum. We all try to work together. So anything you're not sure of, anything you want some clarification of, please let me know. You can voice it or you can go to the live chat. Sure thing. So yeah, we get used to clearly oil. WTI is oil, and so is Brent. So you get used to one. So you don't do both. Do one or the other. Whatever you used to. I'm more used to Brent now, but I used to be more used to WTI. It's half dozen to 160. Not really much difference, but as you can see, it's the same sort of principles of Brent. So if you haven't done the Brent and you want to do this one instead, and you like the idea of buying oil, well, there you are. Same principle. I can do. Did you want to do it? I can put a stop loss in, same sort of principle for you. Just show you there. Let's have a look. Down here somewhere, maybe a little bit wider. Slightly tighter stop might make life a little bit easier for you financially wise. Over there, it's too far down here. Hang on, just let me get this right. It's too far down here. That's too far. So let's put it down here. That should do it. And the T up here, and that should be more than enough. 81.30. And even bring it down a bit. Something like that should do it. Don't forget, you can always modify. If it gets the 50-day moving average, comes off, we'll take it. You made a couple of bucks, so what a pleasure. There's your risk, $50 a micro. And it wasn't there since December, so they're about 2 months ago. This is slightly better than the other one from the point of view is the stock's in the right place, but it's tighter than the Brent. So it's only 50 a micro, the other thing's about 60, 70 or something. $60 a micro on the Brent, this is 50. Slight advantage from that point of view. When place trade is all about patience. Well, placing the trade is not the difficult part. That's easy. Just pressing a couple of buttons whether you're throwing your laptop. I think what you mean by that is Syrian. Yes, it is. Now, patience. If you buy equities or a house, long-term growth, you're used to that. The thing with this, we're expecting more quicker action. It tends to be this leveraged. It moves a bit quicker. But even with leverage, sometimes it can be a slow boat to China. Then you do need the patience, yeah. Yeah, how long you're going to be in that trade, nobody knows. Either you exit or you don't, and you wait the SMTP to kick you out automatically, or you modify your SL or whatever. That's up to you. But whether it takes a day, a few hours, or a week, depends on what the market does. I can't control that. Does that make any sense? Am I on the right track there, Tim? Because it's quite psychological. Get the car, you want to go and get destination as quickly as possible, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Okay, I hope I've sort of answered it, yeah. But patience is definitely part of it, yeah. And just remember, guys, listen, buyers and sellers make up the market. Control the controllable, we can't control the market. Best rule in the world, I think that's going to go up. And it doesn't, that's why I have a protective stop loss. Okay, good. Right, so there's a WTI alternate oil. You know what I mean? Western Tex Intermediate, it's basically American oil, it's slightly cheaper because the quality is slightly less than Brent. I'm not sure everyone crude. I never traded crude, find out, but crude is a Saudi oil, it's slightly cheaper because that's slightly lower quality, if you like. Otherwise, fine. Okay, right, there you are for that WTI. There you are. Put down for turn as a reminder because some people instead of down. We sure can. Just 1 second. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure what you want to be doing with this. I'd rather sell the rally, but I'm not sure I'll be going for it right now. I've got a trade actually out. I think Graham was still in it. Maybe not. It's been out for over a week now. I think about 2 weeks. We saw it was quite a bit higher. I just can't remember now. I think most people are out of it, but yeah, I see downside, but I'm not sure I'll be doing it now. I think maybe a little bit higher up, sell it. I don't know, maybe confirm break or something, but I'm not sure I'm that keen at the moment. Unless you want to buy it, I'm going to leave this one alone personally. But that's just my opinion. Do you want to buy it or sell it tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah. You want to buy it? Okay. Just a second. I thought it was going to confuse more people than it solves this problem. XAU. Okay, anyone to join on a buy? I'll put some calculator up if you want to do that. Maybe get it out of the way down here. Make it around 100 freeway, 39. TP 41. Maybe 417 to get a risk reward. That's not going to work either. It's a bit tighter. Yeah, if you want that one, for the record, I'm not keen. I'd rather sell the rally, but there you are if you want to buy it. If you like those figures, or you can do your own thing or whatever. But yeah, I'm not sure I'll be buying that. No, I'm not. Talking about not sure. I know I won't be buying it. No. I'm not going in now, but I would suggest a sell. It might come off, better chance, or maybe you have to set it down. Okay, but there's somebody from the game closely. You might be on your own here. Sorry about that. You might have the last laugh that shoots up here. Okay, not that often. Sort of quickly check on that side. We've got to sell the NAS. It's a bit contradictory to sell the NAS and buy the S&P, to be honest. But yeah, you see we're hovering. That's fine. Stick with it. You're the one still in there. 6th of February, what, 2 weeks ago? 70, over 2 weeks ago, when, yeah. You should be a profit now, finally, so stick with it, yeah. Gold's coming off. Anyone take the gold trade, by the way? Or XAU, or you want to call it? Gold, yeah, same thing. Guys battling, just sent me a WhatsApp there, battling to find XAU. Well, do gold, yeah. Some I think when you're trying to solve a problem, you create two for everyone you solve. Anyway, it's another story. Okay. EURJPY, I'm getting a bit nervous of it, actually, come to think of it. Just be careful with that. And what about 12 o'clock, the Eurozone? But having said that, you got your position size right. Your stop loss hopefully will protect you. Okay. Right. Brent's the other one we got out. Anything happening there? Little bits to the north. That's good stuff. Okay. You've got the DXY and the economic calendar. Got the calculator, anything on the basics to go over. I think I've covered it all. Right, sure. Going to speak to you finally after 11 a.m. Okay, fair enough. Okay, right. I haven't got anything particularly new to add on that. It was nothing special came out yesterday. The budget was okay, but it was maybe tinker around, but not really solve the big problem. So yeah, at least it's not more taxing it. Yeah, but yeah, I suppose he's doing his best. Yeah. Cigarettes and booze went up, which I totally agree with. Something you can increase the tax on without getting any political feedback. As long as you haven't got up the same price as the UK, which is horrendously expensive with the tax. If it's fun, tax it, I always say. Okay, we'll leave AUD out of that, AUD CAD. Any recovery here? Not really. Very disappointing. Okay, well, so be it. Okay, I haven't really much more to add on that. We've got a couple of trades out. We cover most of the basics. I think you guys get the hang of it. Have you got your charts set up properly? You need to do that. You should all have not operate the platform, have your charts set up. Yeah, my strategy is pretty straightforward. It's not that complicated. I prefer to keep it simple. I don't want to over clutter with indicators. I've hardly ever used them. You'll find they like the price action and they tend to price by analysis, but if you like them, use them. And always remember, price action is governed often by emotion, not always rational. So funny things do happen. That's why you've got to get your position size calculator correct. Okay. Okay. Any questions, anybody? Anything like to look at? Anything want to clarify? You all know about specifications. Go over this quickly again. That gives you the details on each individual instrument, contract size, etc. Remember on WTI Brent, contract size is 100. So that means 100 times, there you go, 100 times the figure on Brent, which is 80 odd dollars worth. Okay, don't forget interact, here to try and help. Yeah, it's sometimes difficult not to get sarky. We've always got to remember they're seeing it for the first time. We've got to remember that. But it is a worrying people in a high risk speculative leverage instrument without understanding that. That's why I'm trying to get them to understand that. There's nothing wrong with driving 180, 200, even though it's against the law, I suppose, in a fast car, as long as you know you're doing that kind of speed. Not yet, but I don't quite know why you should have it. Can't see what's the point. It's the same contract value as the NAV 10, but it's 4,000 compared to 12 and 34,000 on the Dow. I can't see what's good to do. You can still do S&P with a 100 pip stop. It's like a forex. You know what I mean? It's still possible. You can't do it on the Nasdaq because unfortunately you need 200 pip stops. That's the problem. That's why I see the value of a micro on those, but if they put it into great, fair enough. But I can't see really the point. Having a contract value of 1. Understand what I mean? For the S&P up. That's 10, like all the indices are. If you change that to a 1 contract, then you got a $4,000, and then be $40 will be the micro exposure. What's $40? About 650 Rand. All right, 650 Rand. What's the point of that? Yeah? As the exposure, it's not the deposit. Obviously, put the deposit now. Actually, what would it be? If it's 60 Rand or 600 Rand, divide that by 4. Yeah, it'll be 15 Rand as your market. I suppose then you could trade, you got $50 in your account. That's the point, but anyway. You with me on that, Ngozi? Why I don't think there's much point to it. What is happening to gold? How do you mean what is happening to gold? Well, start is going the right bloody way for our trade idea. That's the whole idea behind it, Ngozi. It's the whole point. Trying to get people off demo accounts that are too scared to go in something with and take a lot of the fear out. You still get the understanding that it's real money, even if it's not much on it. And once they overcome that fear zone, then they're going properly. That's the whole point, otherwise, yeah. And quite frankly, just give a large amount of clients haven't got much money in their accounts, so at least give them a chance to go for the index. Okay, so not quite sure what's happened with gold. It's well coming off, which we wanted to do. Oh, I'm missing your point here. I'm sorry, Tim. A bit more. Not quite sure what you mean. What's happened to it? It's coming off. Was that a problem? Maybe I missed the point somewhere. Okay, I think it's Levin. Or Levin just joined. How's it? Just make sure we got the name right. Where's he now? I think it was Levin, something like that. Anyway, good day. Welcome, and yeah, welcome to Trading Room. It's a bit quiet at the moment. We've got a couple of trade ideas out. If you've traded before, great. If you haven't, you can interact and ask a couple of questions, etc. Just bear in mind, it's a trading room, not a training room. So I'm not going to spend time giving you free training to assist you once you've got the basics. Any questions? Israel, you want to say something? Okay. All right. Yeah. So I've run out of gas here. I'm out of end gas. Anything you want to discuss? Anything like that? Okay, Anne-Marie, yeah, it's a bit quiet. You got the trades. Not sure we'll get much more out of this couple one. There won't be trades sent out tomorrow. Some sort of office do one. Getting to the weekend there is not a big deal. We've got quite a few out to play around with them. I will be available as per normal trading room, etc. So yeah, I can take it from there. Okay, right. Sorry, guys. I've just about any strategy you want to discuss. Anything what the newer guys are not sure about? Please ask, and I'll try and clarify for you. I think it did actually, but no point in doing it again. On a quiet time, we do it 10 times over if you like. AUDJPY was about 91.95. Not much happening, a little bit of profit. Okay, I understand that too. Okay, no problem. Thanks, anyway. Yeah, it's about 10 pips up. I'm be honest, I'm getting a bit worried with it. Is he going to break through this 100-day moving average? I'm a bit at the moment. Slightly in the positive, but I'm a bit nervous of it. Certainly would be joining now. If you're in, be aware. Too tight to put a stop loss at entry. That's only 10 pips away. But I'm just for the road. Just understand that it's looking back into breakthrough there. I'm assuming you're in that one, Pete. Yeah. What price to get in? Pete, what price do you enter? Yeah, we can't move to stop. It's too close. Sure. So I'm not putting fear into you here, but I have to say, you're going to move up. Let's try. You might get lucky. Not much more I can say on that. Okay. You can see what I see, same sort of principle. My only slight worry is if you took the Euro JPY trade, Yeah, I think it's going to be all right. But just worry about 12 o'clock. Oh, I think whatever. I can't see more than that. Okay, well, in the quiet moments, do a couple of revisits. Let's have a look at the Brent. Let's come back off of there. Okay, so start get some traction there. And the gold's in profits, that's okay. Yeah. Any strategy you want to discuss? Because I don't want to repeat what most of the guys in the trade room know. I haven't got any new particular trading ideas out for the moment. Hang on to what you got. The shares are doing well. That's great. Yeah. So anything you want to look at finally, or you guys, Brian? Anybody? Lenvin?
Roger, permission to speak.
Obviously, yeah, definitely. So.
Okay, the CPI of the euro.
Yeah.
The whole world is concerned that inflation is too high.
Yeah.
But we say that if the CPI is higher, you buy the euro.
That's correct.
And if it's lower, you sell the euro. So,
Correct.
but that is for me, maybe I'm thinking stupid about it. It's in contradictory to the inflation drive that we want to reduce the inflation in Europe.
Okay. Yeah. Funny enough, not a lot of people mention that. How come bad thing is good for the euro? Yeah. Simple fact is, if the inflation is higher, there will be an expectation of pressure on the ECB to increase interest rates, to curtail the increase of inflation. When you increase interest rates, you normally get a strengthening of the currency. Up to a point. If it's getting now, you keep increasing it, it's not working, and it gets towards stagflation, then it might have an opposite effect and come down. It's not got to that stage yet. Sorry for that complication of the words. But that's a major overall effect, is if you see the CPI, or Consumer Price Index, is higher, means prices are going up, which means inflationary. So they'll say, right, we're expecting the ECB will increase interest rates at the next meeting there higher than expected, or making a judgment on that. We don't know till that happens. So the expectation about guys that it will happen, they'll have to have a more hawkish stance. So it would actually have a powerful effect on the euro to the north. If it's lower, great, yes, we got the inflation under control, prices are coming down, we might be able to relax interest rates or increase less than expected for the next meeting. So therefore, that would have an adverse effect on the currency. I'll give you an example. If yesterday, trying to get his name right, God Dongwana, keep happy with it. Yeah, study says we've still got a problem with inflation. We're going to have to put interest rates up out of the blue. The rand would have strengthened. I don't go back to be weak again, but that's a general idea. And as you say, the whole world is all about inflation, massive debt, mainly due to the COVID. They reduced interest rates virtually to zero worldwide, where you get basically that's free money. You've got no interest rate, it's zero. Terrible for the savers. So why use your own? You're getting free money, borrow it. You won't be using your own, you can borrow it free of charge. The only reason you don't borrow money because it costs you. If it doesn't cost you anything, borrow it. So that increases debt. When you put on the positive side, people then will buy products. I mean, I'll give you an example. I'm selling a product at 25,000 Rand. My business would go under if I didn't have access to debt. And you know what I'm saying? If it had to be cash only, my sales would go right down. people now, because if they can buy it on the Never Never, can then say, I can buy a product, and what's the interest rate? What's my repayment? It used to be, let's say, 250. Now it's only 200 a month. Oh, that's all right. But if it goes from 200 to 300 a month, the same product, it's a bit much. You'll have to leave it. The guy loses the sale, and then he's going to start maybe letting guys go, and then you get all those sort of problems. Simple as that. Okay, makes sense.
Thank you, Roger.
Nothing particularly more complicated than that. Okay, fine, good. GBPNZD. We had a trade out in there, as we all know. It was a bit hectic. Wants to know it's a sell limit. Okay. Yeah, we had one out, and of course, you look at that. We had an extreme reaction on the PPI, Purchase Producer Index. Yeah, went shooting up as I thought come down. But I knew I should now sell the bloody thing now after having a bad one. People probably a bit antsy, so I didn't. But those who overcame that, shall we say, prejudice, and sold it, did pretty well. Now, the next question is, right, never mind what happened in the past, this is today. What happened yesterday was yesterday today. Should we buy or sell it now? I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. It's very bad, Tim. Very bad, yeah. I'll come back in a minute, go to Lebanon. Overall, I think I do see downside. Yes, I do. Whether I sell it now, I probably will. I might get a bounce. This one, I think, is a potential. If we break through the ground line to 200-day moving average, I'm happy to sell it back down again. Or if it rallies up a little bit and you hold this sort of area here, I would then maybe this little area here and comes off and sell it, maybe it back to down there. The moment I just hang fire for the moment on that one. Because I wouldn't
no long periods of time. But if this is sort of ongoing event.
A bit of background noise there. Just remind if you want to speak, particularly the trading room, here I'll unmute you. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so I personally would leave it, but if you really want to do it, I'd rather sell it than buy it. Next. Remember, we had a slight increase, but however, it was expected of 0.5% in New Zealand, gave a bit of strength, and the pound area has been discounted. Still a mess, that economy. So, yeah. Sell if you must, but I would do it like a better price. Okay, good, more clear. Dow's leaking profits. Okay. Yeah, you should have a wide stop. You should be in the micro. You should have at least, I don't know, about maybe a 300-400 pip stop on that. Down's the way of the game. It's going to up and down. I'm still happy to see. Do I see the downtrend continuing? Basically, yes, I do. No more, no less. Straight answer, straight question. Yes, I do. Don't let the noise get to you. The ups and downs we call the noise. Don't let it get with. Easier said than done. Of course, it's going to get you, but understand it's the noise. Hi, Fiona. Yeah, load shedding is it's a nightmare. Yeah. Another 280 billion rands gone towards that. Where they get this money from, I do not know. Yeah, so keep your fingers crossed. Roger, you often explain the setup that you use to enter a trade. I believe this is informed on all trades. Also, the decision to take a little trade. Yeah, but what I'm trying to do there, pointing out there, thanks for that, it's try not overcrowd the charts. I mean, I've done that before. What you're happy with, don't suddenly change it. But what I'm saying is try and set it up with basic stuff that is going to give you some idea of the likelihood and I'm looking for the likelihood where to go from here. Most indicators tell me what's already happened, but I can look at that immediately and see what the buyers and sellers are doing. I keep some idea of what we call macroeconomics. Basically, that means what is happening with debt and employment and overall growth or lack of growth worldwide in the more developed or bigger economies, or whatever you like to look at. And also, we've had a bull run since 2008. So it's quite a long bull run. And now it looks like it's over. It's still hovering a bit, but it's over. And I think it's a long way to come off before we can see any bottom at the moment. So, yeah, in the meantime, as I say, I prefer to look at, I've discussed the index, but let's look at a pair. Let's look completely different. I like to try and identify what are strong or weak ones. So what's a GBP CHF? I quite like that one. Whether it's doing all right or not is another story. It's simply because I personally think the pound is quite weak, and I think the Swiss franc is quite strong. So when I've decided I want to put a sell the weak, obviously buy the stronger by definition, then I try and look for some area where it's rallied to a particular price. Now, where do I get that information from? I use those moving averages. Why? Because just about everybody else does. No more, no less, self-fulfilling. And I see when it's below them all, the likelihood is it's weak, it's a sell zone, so I don't want to be buying it. I want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it here in a halfway house. I don't want to sell it. You look at the ceiling and the floor halfway between the two. I want to sell it near the ceiling, but it might break up to the next floor. So I don't want to get in there and here. If it breaks up, I'm wrong. So I want to see if it comes off. It has done. And that was clearly that hill before. Hence yesterday, that was a trade idea. It's been disappointing, but that's the market for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, that I can't control. And remember, there's a large proportion of people now out there, retail trade particularly, are trading more emotionally without any particular strategy, and that can fluctuate the prices collectively. But yeah. And going back in consolidation, a lot of it is I've said before, there's a lot of nerves out there. We're staring recession in the face, but we're at the same time hoping it's not to come. A bit of denial, psychological denial is coming on that. And that's what's making people nervous. I hate to say it, we need to get this major pullback. I hate the word crash, it puts a fear of God into everyone. But we need this major pullback to get out of the way. Once it's done, if you go back to 2008, that's when the buyers say, this is the bottom now, this is looking good, these are bargain basement prices. I'm buying it up. And look what happened. That bull market flew right up over the next 10, 15 years. You get the idea. But we haven't got, we're still too high. We haven't got anywhere near the bottom, in my opinion, to get bargain hunting. So we're still going to play around the short term. Okay. We've overspent worldwide. We've overspent, and it's not our money. It's borrowed money. That's the problem. Yeah. Well, you see, the problem with the banks is that they make their money by you putting the money in the bank. They lend it out at a decent rate of interest, getting a return on it. But the problem is when they lend it out, the interest rate doesn't come for much if the guy now can't pay you back. And that's when you get the defaults and these sort of panic situations. And especially in this country, where they've got unsecured loans, that means interest rates are hectic. So the poor guy wants to buy a product and he can't, and his credit record is well, he's not ITC, they won't get any credit anyway, but it's not that great, or he hasn't got enough assets to give security or collateral to the lender. In return, they put up the interest rates quite a lot. So if you put something out there, you want to sell it for 20, 25 grand, and you're borrowing the money to buy the product. I've sold it to you. I'm happy. I get my comps. You got the product. Everyone's happy. But you've taken it on terms, and then the problem is paying it back. And that's why the banks are very nervous. I mean, surely in your own lives, most of you are aware of that. If you look at your salary coming at the end of the month, and then you look at it, you look at your bank account a day later, you know, it's a different story. We've all been, all those debit orders, same principle. Okay. It's just basic stuff. Don't need a degree for all that. The basic problem is that I think governments worldwide have been running the economy like a teenager with an unlimited credit card. They go berserk with it because this is all right. I've forgotten all the time, but it's actually not their money. They've got to pay it back. And now they've got to, now payback comes time, and now they don't like it anymore. That's what's happening. So what do? They print more money. That can only go so far. That's when inflation comes in. And the problem with inflation, if it's negative for savers, and you need people to save money, and they're not doing it. Never mind this country, try America. It's only 50% of the people in America live paycheck to paycheck. If they don't get paid at the end of the month, they've got a problem. They can't carry themselves. Well, they say you should be able to at least carry yourself about 6 months without pay. Very few people can do that in the world of homes. I still think it's creating more problems to solve this. XAU is something called a periodic table. It's the code of the periodic table. And the code for gold in the periodic table is XAU. XAG, I think it is for silver. So why they use that? Why don't they just take gold dollar? It'd be just as easy. But anyway, the point is why some platforms, XAU USD for the code for gold, is some guys prefer to trade gold in euros or pounds. In other words, instead of being $1,800 an ounce, it's, let's say, I don't know, 1,900 euros an ounce, or 2,100, whatever the exchange rate is, pounds an ounce, or whatever it happens to be. Is that the right way around? The other way around? I can't remember. But anyway, the point is, that's it. So what was happening? A lot of guys coming on and saying, I can't find the US 30 or the US 500 or the US 100 or the XAU which called it USD on my system. Don't you have it as an instrument? And then we got to come back and said, yes, we do, but XAU is gold, US 30 is Dow, US 100 is NASDAQ, and US 500 is S&P. So that's just trying to sort of have that on there. But whether you like XAU, it is, say donkey or thank you, same thing. If it comes with gold, do it. If it comes with element, it's irrelevant. It's exactly the same, just a different name. And I thought this might happen. I think it's a bit more confusion, because I think with a different name must be a completely different setup. No, it ain't. Leverage the same, contract size the same, margin the same. It's absolutely, the mathematical word for it is congruent, which means exactly the same. The only reason why I send out XAU just to get them more familiar with it and load it up or whatever. But like one guy came up, I can't find it. And I wasn't trading my bank time to explain how. So I just said, right, do gold, same thing. Not the same thing like Brent and WI. They're both oil, but they're different prices. This is exactly the same. Okay. GB6, Chef. Hang on, what's this now? Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably waiting for a trigger of some sort. It's just hovering. I'm content to stick with the sell. I'm not sure what we're going to push it through there. What's going to drive that up and make the Swiss franc weaker? At this stage, I have no idea why that should happen. So I'm going to stick with it. Probably, but yeah. Don't put me in a difficult position here. I'm going to plead the fifth on that one. Well, if you're nervous with that one, gold. If you're nervous with both of them, don't do either. Simple as that. That's right. I've just been used to Brent lately, but if somebody said WTI, well, I'll stick with that. I get used to WTI. Same sort of thing. Well, Shakespeare said, a rose by any other name. Okay, I've that cleared that up. Okay, yeah, this is just hovering, but I'm content with the sell. Just it's boring, it's sideways, but sticking to the strategy. You're a JPY. There's some problems. It's not getting movement. I tell you why it's not getting movement. Keep forgetting. Of course, here's come out at 12. Some nerves are running around out there. Yeah, they're trying to sort that out. Actually, I forgot to mention that. I think this morning was yesterday morning. I brought the subject up again. There's some technical thing that's causing a problem with it. And that's why I think it's getting it can't place for some reason. But I think just let it run, leave it alone. You can always exit, but you can't get any new orders at the moment until they get it sorted out. But don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. If you can't get into Brent, we'll do WTI instead. If you can't do S&P, do the NAS instead. Yeah, a couple of guys like it. They're used to it. They're going to wait to get sorted out and then go in again. If that's what they want to do. I'm saying just be flexible. Look, if you're in, obviously you can close it, but leave it alone until get it sorted out. If you like the indices, do the NAS or the DAX or whatever. You can now because the contract size has been reduced to make it affordable. Okay. Okay, all right. Yeah, so hope you're all familiar with what I've been talking about. If not, say so, and that's what I want. People like Tim and Posey, etc., interact and try and clear it up. And you can make the odd joke there, Fiona, no problem at all. In fact, the fifth means I probably agree with you, but not going to say so. Okay. I mentioned S&P. I mentioned earlier on the S&P. I don't see much point out of the micro. Does anybody not understand why I said that? Could you share some signal on GBP there? Yeah, I can. If you want the GBP CHF, yeah, sell it. Absolutely. Been hovering around so, until it gets moving. Might be a bit slow, but certainly you can sell it. Give the same figures as before. Get them out there now. Where's GBP? 1.1288, 1.1090. There you are. $125 a micro. If you're not in it, you like it, slow or not. I think it's a high probability trade to come right. So anybody new here that hadn't received this yet? Well, here's your chance. And the beauty of this gives you a risk. If you got 500 in your account, I think it might be a bit excessive because that's what about 25% of your entire capital in one particular instrument on the 0.01. That's the only problem with that is it's been overexposed. In fact, the 500, most stuff's overexposed. Probably stick to NASDAQ, down micro and gold. Most of it's going to be overexposed, unfortunately. 1,000 rand could probably manage it. It's 12 is a bit high, but still it's sort of manageable. But if you got, let's say, 4K in your, make it 5K in your account, 0.03 max. But I like this trade. It might be slow, but I like it. Say on, Michael. Anyone else is not in, wants to go for it? I'm more than happy for you. I'm comfortable for you to take it, put it that way. Okay. Sort of been a bit boring this morning, but it happens sometimes. Maybe we'll get some more action coming through after this afternoon's. I've got the euro out of the way. We'll have the GDP and the jobless claims in the US out of the way. We might get hopefully a bit better direction. That is the toughest thing in trading. We get no solid direction. Consolidation, I think, is a polite way of saying no solid direction. And that's toughest. If it's bearable, what a pleasure. We want the thing to move. We want volatility, but it must be aimless up and down roller coaster job. That'll drive you insane. But we don't want it. We want it to be. We go the ups and downs, but in a specific direction. At the moment, it's very much listless. Can't be a better word. There you are, Fiona. See, you're still on this one. That's fine. It's just a bit slow sometimes. You've had some quick movers. You're excited. I was like driving a car. You've been, well, let's say you're breaking the law in the highway, and you've been doing 160 on the highway, and suddenly coming into closer to town, you're going to drop your speed to 100. It feels like you come to a standstill, because relatively speaking, it is compared to what you're doing before. It's just a bit slower. Can't do anything about it. Just hope we get some action coming up this afternoon. Maybe a bit quiet tomorrow, and please God, let some decent follow through, etc. on these trades going into Monday. Okay. I don't want to tempt of Providence, but I think we should get some action going in by 4 o'clock session this afternoon. Just stick it out, Fiona. It's a bit like this. You're in a traffic jam. You just bought yourself a fancy top of the range Merc, and you can do 0 to 60 before you take the deep breath, and now you're in a traffic jam. Well, it's boring, it's slow, but as long as you're inching across in the right direction till the rush hour's over, or the slow hour is probably a better word to call it, and then you can pick up speed. So I'm hoping that's going to be going through. Okay. Okay, I think we'll wrap it up. It's a bit quiet. I think I'm starting to bore you guys a little bit. I haven't got anything new to add. I want to add value. And that's the main thing I'm trying to achieve. I hope some of you guys had some value added. Some guys hope learned a little bit somewhere along the line, or added, you might know, added to something every day. So you've got something out of it. Keep your fingers crossed in these trades. And say, watch that euro for 12 o'clock, and stick with your strategy. And just hope we can get some action later on this afternoon. Are we good with that? Okay, Vicky, good stuff. Great to have you, as always. And don't forget, if it's quiet, you can always just interact like Tim and company have done. That's the main thing. If they're not sure, ask. And then you can, and sometimes you're asking on behalf of everyone else. So it can work quite well. Okay, great stuff, guys. Well, what can I say? Those can make it 4 o'clock. Don't forget, on top of it, we do have it on YouTube, on the what you call on the portal, a recorded lesson, something like that. Okay. Well, now that's what I want to hear, Fiona. Thank you. When you go to the end of the session, it's nice to get a bit of good news. You got 4 to hear that, guys. 4 trades running, only 1 in the red. That's pretty damn good. The world looks about 2 out of 3, it's about 66%. 1 out of that means 75%. So that's good. Thank you for that. That's brilliant. Getting somewhere. Okay, good. On that note, see you later. Brilliant. Thank you. Cheers, guys.